Through the generous contribution of Dr. Lewis's family, we're very fortunate to be able to share with you these timeless recordings of Dr. M. W. Lewis, a self-realized American yogi. Dr. Lewis was Paramahansa Yogananda's first American disciple and dearest personal friend. The wisdom Dr. Lewis imparts through these teachings will give you a dynamic and practical insight into the ancient science of yoga as taught by Paramahansa Yogananda. This lecture's title is Happiness in Balance and was delivered in Hollywood, California on June 21st, 1959.
Well, when we speak about balance, there must be two sides, as I understand a balance. One side goes up and one side goes down. Sometimes when we start Self-Realization Fellowship, the balance on the downside is down. But it is our effort to bring it up by counterbalancing it with the good, or the presence of God. So balance, as we speak of balance, it means that there must be two things concerned, and we are to balance them, which is true. And those two things might be answered by answering the question, what are we? What are we? Yes, we're human beings. We all know that. But we are something more than just human beings. We are spiritual beings. Spiritual beings made in the image of God. And how many people just feed, so to speak, or cater to the material side of existence or the mundane consciousness which is within us. But we have a far greater side, a spiritual side. And we are so constituted that the balance must be kept. We must feed the material side. We must nurture that part of ourselves, but also we must feed the spiritual side of ourselves. If we do not, God sees that we do. Just remember that as we start out on this little discussion this morning about balance. Now, you wouldn't think of just taking care of your face and upper part of your body, would you, and having it look nice and clean and spotless and the rest of yourself as it shouldn't be? So with us. With the body, we must take care of all parts of it. Otherwise, disease sets in and other things. So with our existence, we must take care of both sides of our existence, the material and the physical and the spiritual side. Now look at those who do not take care of the spiritual side. Just look at them. Will you swap your condition for theirs? They are following those immaterial things, material things of foolish carryings on in this earthly existence, light pleasures of card playing and dancing and going to this and that, which does not give any real valuable result. They are doing those things which lead to a state of consciousness which lacks initiative and ambition. Look at them. That's all. Use your common sense and see that those people who cater to only the material side of existence do not look as they should look, being children of God. Take the businessman, the man who is interested in only one thing, business, business, business. He eats it, he dreams it, he talks it, and I think he sleeps in it sometimes. And he thinks of only that one thing. Now, being a businessman is not wrong. It is good if he would but take care of the spiritual side of himself. But he does not do that. And you look at any of these people of which I have spoken, and I can assure you, and I know you know, that very few of them have any peace at all. Very few, because it doesn't go with that kind of a combination. It goes with a balanced life between the material side of us and the presence of God within us as the spiritual side. And those people, they say, well, I haven't time for God or spiritual things. No, but they have time to eat, don't they, and breathe? Certainly they do. And what do? They forget their most important engagement, which is with God. The most important engagement they forget. And because they do, God says, all right, mister, you're coming back to me whether you like it or not. And every night in sleep, we go back to God. That's the thing, as Master has said, the greatest argument in favor of a balanced life is that we have to go back to God in sleep, whether we want to or not. We have to go back, and if we don't sleep, we die. We must go back. The soul must return to God in sleep. And because of that, through the slow process of evolution, we gradually come up a little bit after incarnations, perhaps of time and eons of time. So, remember, that's the greatest argument for a balanced life, a balance between mundane consciousness and worldly pursuits and spiritual conquest for the presence of God. Every night in sleep we go there. Now the yogi said, well, if that's so, perhaps if we can consciously know this place of sleep in which we know we must contact God, because in the morning we wake up and we feel refreshed. We feel a great calmness just as you wake up, until mundane existence consciousness gets in and causes all the commotion. For a little bit we feel very peaceful. Because why? We have been in contact with God. The soul has been in contact with God. So the yogi said, if we can do that, perhaps we can know